Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today is Friday. So I hope you are all wearing red for everyone deployed. Grab a drink and give us a like. Shout out to my buddy Satoshi Sean and my friend Javi, who's on the road coming to visit us. Drive safe, and lots of love to my mama. I love you. And big shout out to my daughter, Carly Bear. Oh, I'm not supposed to call her that in public because she's a grown woman, but she is going to be rolling this weekend in Tulsa. So all of the rest of you better watch out because she's going to kick your butt in jiu-jitsu. Be right back right after this. Sounds like Westwood was on a tear earlier today too. Bring the heat. Happy Friday, Westwood.
Happy Friday. How you doing, Lisa?
Oh, you seem so calm and together and reading.
Well, that wasn't the case earlier.
Oh, I heard. I can't wait to watch it.
I don't know. You might get upset by it. It's not about
really?
you. It's just that, I got into the National Defense Authorization Act. And
I can't wait to read it. Last year, Public and I read through the whole dang thing.
Yeah.
And I was screaming at everybody about what was in it. And then people were like, oh, Lisa, that's ridiculous. Who signed it? You think that puppet signed it? Oh, that's ridiculous. And then look what's happened.
Yeah. And, well, now, apparently, this is the last thing I heard, unless it got changed. They're not going to require the prick for military people now once this passes. And I'm like, I got on a rant, and I'm like, it's just like you were talking about yesterday with Johnny. It's like, it's not required anyway. If you voluntarily let them take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so don't get upset at me that you took it. I mean, you got to freaking, that's why I say trust yourself and think for yourself, because at some point it's like, quit making excuses and realize, okay, you're signing up to defend the Constitution, and then you're allowing yourself to be violated. Now, that's not right. And it ticks me off.
Think about how many things we as Americans do voluntarily.
Everything. That's
to violate ourselves.
Yep.
Because we are being tricked and misled with language, with words, with spells. There's a little 3-letter agency that we voluntarily disclose our private information to and give over money under threat of physical or
right. We'll take all your stuff if you don't pay a little protection money in the envelope. Make sure you pass that along.
Yeah.
Be a good little boy and girl.
But if you look into that,
fund the wars.
We mentioned it yesterday a little bit. I don't know if you have thoughts about it. I posted.
I'm sure I do.
I do need to check in on the Team Mighty Lair over at Den.social. I'm really going to try to engage more in this. I think this is good for the community, and it's somewhere where we can have like conversation throughout the week. So every week I'm posting like, here's the week for this week. You go over here, and anybody that I'll always have like our Friday video pre-posted. So that'll be like what we're going to do. But then if there's comments below, look, Daddy-O is our comments.
Boom.
He's going to get tons of energy from me. And he's going to get tipped in lot, which is a layer ownership token. I'm going to give him 1 layer ownership token. And I'm going to say lots of love, Daddy. Oh, whoops. Oh. And tip him 1 mighty layer ownership token. So he says, Oh, so his favorite, because I say make a comment about your favorite part of the shows this week. He said his favorite part was Johnny's silver certificates. My aunt worked at a bank for years and always saved the silver certificates. Red 5s and 2s. She gave them to me at Christmas, and I still have most of them today. And he did a video today on YouTube and posted on Twitter too. That's where I saw it. And
Video did?
Yeah, and he was showing his silver certificates.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you go follow Daddy-O on Twitter. Also follow him here on the Mighty Lair. See, I'm following him.
Do it.
So then we have, if we go back to the Mighty Lair, there was this Puerto Rico to vote for, have an opportunity to vote for We the People. It's passed through the House. It's going to the Senate, and then we'll go to, Sleepy Joe's desk or however that's going to work. But thinking about a lot of these three-letter agencies are actually private entities registered through Puerto Rico, and how Puerto Rico itself has been colonized and hijacked, and giving the vote back to the people, and them throwing off whatever tyranny is there. I'm wondering if that gets rid of a lot of those things.
Remember who else wanted to set up in Puerto Rico? That guy that was in the Mighty Ducks and
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was gonna have like a big.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of him. I'll say Brock Pierce.
Crypto, whatever, paradise, and all this crap. Yeah, I'm sick of these people. I am sick of it. I am sick and tired of. And this is the thing. It's our fault. I'm just gonna say it. It's our fault for allowing these people to have any kind of power. And that's part of my rant today. It's like, just stop following orders. Just quit letting them push you around and tell you that you're not sovereign.
Just say no. What does Nancy Reagan say?
Just say no. Just say no to drugs. It's pouring in, the USA air. Yeah, that's another problem.
There's lots of
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Cheers, everyone.
What you drinking, Lisa?
Having a little Zevia and Tito's.
Grape.
Because there is no strawberry Zevia. If anyone has strawberry Zevia, send it my way.
Road to hell paved with unbought strawberry Zevia.
Yeah. I'm thankful there's Zevia, but there. And Crypto Experiences by St. Jerome is here.
Yes.
You're on time. Thanks for joining us. Daddy-O is in the house. I'm glad he's watching.
I didn't see your video, Daddy-O, but we're on the same wavelength as always. I got the $5 silver certificate here.
That's so cool. I don't know.
I know. Look at the old money. Just collect stuff. We're collectors. We're like those billionaires. We collect things. We like things. We just don't collect people and blood samples.
Yeah.
There's the red seal out of the trip.
Okay, that's what I was asking him on Twitter, and he said that. So the blue are silver. In exchange for actual silver.
Yes, $1 worth of silver, because $1 is defined by a specific weight of silver.
Okay.
$1.
And the red ones are for.
Well, they're out of the treasury. They're U.S.
Currency out of the treasury.
Right. It's not backed by silver or anything, but notice it says United States note instead of Federal Reserve note. Okay. So basically it's like an instrument out of the treasury rather than the Federal Reserve, which I would much rather have the treasury print money to oblivion, because there's no interest attached to it. You outsource it to the Fed and you got all this debt and interest attached to it that you got to pay back.
So isn't it interesting how we have had a parallel government in so many things? Yep. There's been a Fed and a Treasury. There's been a CIA and an FBI. There's been, not saying that either one of those are right or true or good or bad. There's been like so many things that have a parallel when it comes to the powers that be, or these things that lord over us that are supposed to be serving us, It's very interesting how there's typically two masters at the wheel, and then they go,
always,
no, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge.
As above, so below kind of thing. You've got two parallel things running. You look at it, you got the United States Corporation versus these United States. One follows a constitution, but the other follows whatever maritime law, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, cross the bar, all that garbage. The thing is, though, none of it matters if we don't give it power and energy. And we just got to get in that mindset of everything that we do. It's like, am I feeding this today? Every small thing you do. Am I feeding this thing today? All right, I'm going to stop feeding it. You just got to have that mentality.
Like we had that total vampire jump on the Twitter Spaces last week. And I was like, guys, we were having a great talk. It was total fam, good vibes, sharing truth, sharing energy with each other, really positive. And then this little vampire came in the room and changed the energy. And I was like, look, don't let him do this. Don't let them put one drop of poison in the pond, you know? And I was like, stop. If he wants to ask a question, fine, ask a question. I said, but we are not going to we are going to be the coffee bean, not the carrot. So there's an old story. I don't know if you know that story about, so if you boil a coffee bean changes the water. If you boil a carrot, the carrot gets soft. The coffee bean doesn't change. The coffee bean changes the environment around it. So that's what we can all be, the coffee bean. We can be strong in our convictions and know who we are. And we know the facts and the truth. And other environments can come in and around us. And we can change the environment around us by our truth and our actions. And so he can come and have a question, but he's not going to change who we are in our truths. We're all coffee beans together. And so then finally it was just nothing but hate and distraction and whatever. And you shut
I just kicked him out. I said enough is enough.
Was like, look, you're not here to really learn. You don't have genuine questions. You're just here to cause a distraction, and we don't tolerate that.
And that was the whole thing. It was just like, I think everybody in there, I in particular, absolutely. Hey, if you've got real questions, and if you think Litecoin's crap and it's dusty, and that just comes from another mockingbird that said the same word. So it came from one that Johnny called out.
Here?
Yeah, and then it was just like, then he changes the subject and, acts like he's, being aggressively attacked. And I mean, it's just like changing personas. And it's like, you're not genuine.
Straight victim. And I loved Paulie's comment. He goes, get your dress and get out of here.
I mean, you quit acting that way, and it's just like, they change the narrative. And that's the one thing. It's like, hey, I'm consistent on what I do. I think most people in Litecoin are pretty freaking consistent as far as how they explain Litecoin, what they talk about. And it's just like, why do you got to come in and just try and, just dig and dig and dig? And it's like, okay, fine. It's Bitcoin. That's the only thing we've got. That'll be a lot easier for the government to attack and take down. And
they'll be able to find
let's roll with it.
And and they can find everything that you have, and that's great. That'll be good for you.
I'd rather have it decentralized, where we got coins everywhere that they can't keep track of, and there's just too many of us. And I mean, to me, pick and choose your winner. I mean, you give it power, you give it energy, and choose what you like and
choose
go
your
with
spies.
it. Anyway, enough
however
of that.
You want to do that. Shout out to Blind Dave. I hope you're feeling better. Speaking of choosing your spies, there was a announcement about, let's see, we've got Twitter Files 6, which is nothing we don't all know, that the FBI was constant and pervasive in blocking people, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is nothing we don't already know, you guys. Anyway, it's all talking about the censorship, and they even went to the point of blocking people that were obviously making like jokes. Like, here's a guy with stealing a container or whatever.
No sarcasm allowed. And that's the crazy thing. It's just like, why can't we be sarcastic? Why can't we be facetious? I mean, do we want to just eliminate all forms of intelligent humor? Yes, we do. We only want one party.
It might cause your brain to engage and
we can't have that. We have to just control.
There will be no critical thinking.
No.
So we'll get into this NFT thing in just a little bit. But there was the CBDC sent to Ukraine, which I'm wondering, does the big guy get 10% of all the money going to Ukraine too?
Hey, there's probably something to it because, they want to keep that cash cow running, that, that revolving door, that laundry machine running for some reason. Maybe so.
I'm kind of wondering. Welcome back to Twitter, Mike Lindell. Everybody buy a pillow. Let's see. There was, I sent it to you and now I can't find it. Oh, they're saying they're going to release the videotape. Do you remember the videotapes that got leaked out where it looks like Bette Midler's kind of body shape at the island?
Oh yeah, they had was it the closed circuit stuff? And
yeah,
I don't. Maybe that's not the right one, but
I think so.
The ones that scream the loudest are the ones that have done the most crap.
Probably so.
I'm screaming loud now.
Be
so
interesting. Hawkish banks to test gold bulls. Resolved. Oh, this is epic. Okay, wait. We'll talk.
Time goes so quick. I just
a little
it seems
FTX.
like only yesterday. I was totally arguing
There's
with
an
you
echo
on Squawk Box. You went from Charlie Munger's view on Bitcoin to Michael Saylor's view on Bitcoin, and I actually kidded you about it. I said, "Who are you? You may know nothing, but you're never in doubt." You're so strident when you said it was just worthless and rat poison, and then 6 months later, you're like this Bitcoin bull, so I didn't understand that conversion. Did that conversion coincide with the 15 million that you got from FTX?
No, I was investing 3.5 years earlier than that. I changed my mind back in early 2018 when I saw the regulators in jurisdictions like Canada, Switzerland, and Abu Dhabi start to change their minds. But I'll tell you what really got me investing, Joe. I mentioned these guest lecturing things I do. They're usually to graduating cohorts of engineers. And so these are classes at 6 to 9 at night. And these are the best and brightest at MIT or business school at Harvard. I started to notice back in 2018, I'd say, okay, wait, where are you guys going? Where are you going? Because about a third of the class will create entrepreneurial efforts and they'll start businesses. They're all going to the blockchain. You can't spend that much.
No, I understand. I believed Kevin, it back then. I'm just trying to figure why.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. You just said you made this conversion in what year?
I think it was 2018 I started investing, yeah.
Okay, well, I just for, as a point of fact, for what it's worth, May 14th, 2019, you came on television and called Bitcoin garbage. Just
then I'm wrong. It's the year later.
And keeps it in
I'm sorry, guys.
And keeping the time, but also, Kevin, so prior to that, you hadn't looked at it at all. I wonder about Munger. I wonder about a lot of it. Most of the people that call them Beanie Babies have never looked into actually how it works. Had you not looked into it, and yet you had those very strong opinions about it?
I remember. I think it was 2017, coming on Squawk Box talking about the tokenization of a hotel in New York. And the regulator let me know right after that they were not okay with that. And that was the beginning of realizing, wow, things are tough out here with this crypto stuff. Right. But maybe you're right, Andrew. Maybe I started 2019. But the point is, it was long before I became a paid spokesperson, years before. So it didn't change my mind to be paid or, go through that whole process. I'm an advocate of this because I think the productivity available in crypto and particularly payment systems looks extraordinary. And I understand the incumbents in the banking system is really trying to shut this down. But the fact is, it's a threatening technology and disruptions.
These criminals, these manipulative talking head, he's just part of the mainstream media, talking head criminals going out shouting, saying, oh, it's crap. It's, whatever. Meanwhile, he got in years before, just like what, all this insider trading that Pelosi's done for years, all this stuff.
Need to drop the hammer.
Yeah.
Pelosi knows something about that.
Somebody has a hammer. Santa's bringing the hammer, right?
You got to hammer somebody. I don't know. Maybe that was the code name. Santa's bringing the hammer.
Yeah, I thought they did an epic job at holding him accountable on.
Yeah, did you see the other video that's out on Twitter? The compilation of all his talks is like 1:18. All his talks about his process through FTX. What a scammer! What a scammer!
What a piece of crap
he is.
And everyone needs to see him.
Need to play my video.
Liar that he is, and misleading the people and using you.
That's it. He's a vampire. That's it. Deceptive, Frickin' vampire. In the movies, they're all deceptive. Oh, they're going to convince you and persuade you. And oh, so sexy and romantic. And oh, all this life ever after crap. And then they just, they're nothing but shells and they wither away and die if they don't get your blood. So they're just trying to convince you to give them your blood, your energy. That's all they're doing. This guy's a piece of crap. $15 million from FTX is what this guy got. In case you didn't know. $15 million. I got in $3.5 million
for hustling you and lying to you.
Right. And doesn't care. And he's a Canadian. Not that I got anything against Canadians, but you know what? I'm making everybody else upset today. Why not?
I know some nice Canadians.
Yeah, but he's using the system. He's coming here and leeching off all the American money and energy and F him.
He's a piece of crap.
He is a piece of crap.
Okay, so customers' funds. Oh, yeah. And they showed that how much Biden got. It was like somewhere between 5 and 10 million. The banks have shut down BitChute accounts. I don't know if this is true or not, but the Wall Street Silver guy talked about it. I don't get paid on BitChute, so I have no idea. I don't have access to that.
But see, that's the thing. If you're getting paid from a bank through whatever it is, Patreon, PayPal, BitChute, and the bank says, guess what? No, we're shutting you down. You have that experience with trying to buy crypto. Banks can do whatever they want. Shut you off. Well, that's why you got to have cryptocurrencies, sound money in your possession. I mean, you got to have. You're gonna need Litecoin.
Have some silver certificates, like Daddy-O says. There's Daddy-O talking about his silver certificates. Yeah, you're gonna need Litecoin for sure. And Johnny talks about how crypto. We have that great video of the Tom Emmer talking about how, decentral or open ledger crypto is what exposed all of this going on. Way to go. Lauren Boebert unveils bill to end taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal immigrants. I don't even know why this is a thing. But
can we get the QuickBooks documents so we can see what FTX was doing? Can we get those subpoenaed?
They don't have any.
Joke.
That's the problem.
They weren't running it. This is nothing more than another deep state operation. That's all it was. All it was.
And it's been going on for years and years and
forever.
Years.
Forever.
So on these Canadian, just like Bix has been talking about for a long time on the $100 bills, on these $10 Canadian bills, it says, I will have to zoom in. Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more so we can see a little better. Oh, it's not letting me get. It says every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And
is that enforced by the people who are selected?
Apparently
I don't think
not.
so. And that's the thing. I mean, you can give it lip service. I mean, if you don't enforce it, it is just a dusty old document, the Constitution. I mean, unless we live by it and know what it is, and actually, I mean, history is rife with examples of people just going along. Hey, you know what? If Jesus came back today, people would probably crucify him again. And I mean, just because, I would never have done that. I would have known. No. It's when you're part of the system, you do not want the system disrupted. So anybody that comes in and says, hey, what you're doing there, and starts pointing it out, they're like, and they attack you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to realize at some point you're feeding a garbage system. So go back to the Constitution, go back to the source, go back to what the true intent was, and live it. Because if you don't,
Okay, so I would love to know your thoughts on this.
No.
Yes. So I was reading a thing that said that a group of men came together and came up with the Bill of Rights. We were celebrating the ratification of the Bill of Rights yesterday because they believed that the Constitution gave the government too much power.
Yeah. I mean, the Constitution wasn't enough, and they said,
wasn't enough. Okay.
We need to kind of like restrict it a little bit further and be clearer you
on
know,
our
and
inalienable rights.
define it. And then at the end, it says none of these rights, you know, and by being written here, say that there aren't other rights that are implied, you know, so don't think that these are the only rights. There are other rights. And see, that's the problem with government. You got to lay it out for them. And whenever you put people in charge and like let them control things, you got to lay it out. And that's what the Bill of Rights was. The states are like, we definitely need to make sure that even though we know it, and this is why we fought the war, and this is the problems we had with Britain and King George III, we need to write this out so that it's very clear that these rights are protected. You know, your freedom of speech, you know, the government can't establish religion, right to bear arms, you know, for them. And we are the militia, by the way, just so everybody knows, you know, people. So let's not get confused. And the reason it's there is to protect all your rights. That's like the last line of defense, you know. So when they come for the guns, it's all over, folks. That's been throughout history.
I think it's
when
just
they take
starting.
the guns, it's all over.
Yeah, I think that's just starting.
They're trying, but I mean, give me a break. And the lynching thing, what's with that? No, finally, we've outlawed lynching. You see this?
I did not see this. I know they keep trying. That's been kind of a thing every end of the year. They've tried it.
Yeah, it's like, and finally, we live in a nation where lynching, you know,
because
you know why? What's
do you
a
know
lynch
why?
mob do?
Because what is the penalty of treason? Death by hanging.
Exactly. And what's a lynch mob do? Well, it's a bunch of citizens, or I should say that, a bunch of sovereign people getting together and saying, you know what? This guy's done some bad things, and there's no justice. There ain't no marshal. There ain't no sheriff. We got to do something about it. And, you know, that's a fine line between vigilanteism and whatever it is. But the thing is, it's like if 12 jurors can overturn any law, 12 people might get together and actually go apprehend somebody that's done a lot of crimes because nobody else is arresting him. Maybe we'll go do it. Maybe he'll get lynched. We got to outlaw lynching. Yeah, geez, yeah. Yeah, I'd be scared too if I were one of these corrupt pieces of crap in office.
Yeah. Come on in. I think
Come
we
on.
have a visitor.
We got somebody here.
Hi.
Who's this guy?
Hi. Good to see you.
you.
You gonna join us for happy hour? Did you get a drink?
Get a drink.
Okay, you have to get a drink.
Get some tequila.
Okay, we have a visitor for happy hour. He's traveled a long road to be here.
Long, winding, dusty road.
Dusty road. Yes.
Dusty roads.
Yes. So we'll have a visitor for happy hour. And I put him on the wrong side, but I think I'm okay. I got a new connector thing. So Westwood could bang on the table at our next meetup.
Good, because I'm ready.
You're ready.
Oh,
Hey,
something.
speaking of Jesus may be coming back soon, did you see this about Roger Stone saying
No.
prophets and other holy men have told me that only prayer can close this demonic portal, which is swirling like a cauldron. He says that that there is a demonic portal above Biden.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's above a lot of them. Washington, D.C.
Well, there you go.
District of corruption.
The swamp. I'm having trouble finding my little video or my Starbucks is on strike. Thank God. No burnt coffee for all of you and overpriced coffee this weekend.
Man.
So go make your own coffee.
I am my own coffee bean. I stand alone.
We stand alone. We change our own environment. We are not carrots. We are coffee beans. I love that. FBI is being sued for suspending analysis. Military vet.
Oh, my eye. I got a coffee bean in my eye. I can't make the frappe.
We have no coffee beans in your eyes. Congratulations to Oklahoma. Once again, Oklahoma leading the way in aviation for aerospace industry. Oklahoma's career tech is making sure we have the workforce to meet those needs. A great celebration at Metro Tech, Oklahoma, as we meet these aviation mechanics. So big stuff happening. Congratulations.
So are they on strike? What's with Starbucks here? Somebody's
they're on strike.
So I can't go get my $7 coffee after this?
No, they want to. They're not a coffee. They're not a Starbucks in your town. I've been there. There is
out of my 10-mile radius, you know.
They are
I can't have one.
they are on strike because they want to unionize, and Starbucks says, no, we would rather work directly with the individual workers. And they want to unionize. And so they're all
What? So Biden can sign contracts for them? There's like a railroad workers?
And they don't have to work 8-hour days. Oh, snowflakes ahead. Watch out.
All this is going to get automated. I mean, that's what's coming. I mean, I've seen the machines, and all your food's going to be automated. I mean, you're going to get to the point where it's like, I drive by McDonald's and I'm like, I have no desire to go there. I mean, no, because it's like, I've gone through the drive-through before, and it's like somebody different, and they're not from the area. You can tell. It's like, where did these people come from? And I mean, it's just like, what the frick is going on here? And it's just, at some point, everybody will get sick of it. And they'll say, oh, okay, we're not going to have people anymore. We're going to be fully automated. Just order it through the app. It'll be sitting there, at the window, and burgers will get made by themselves. And I mean, the machines can do it. Just need somebody to load the hopper.
Well, I mean, I had some kind of coffee machine thing at one point until I saw what was behind the coffee machine. It was disgusting. I threw it out.
Was it some old guy, behind the curtain and the
Come
dog?
on in. Oh,
magical room.
Yes. It's if I might have it too hot in here for you.
No, I'm fine.
I'll have it
I'm sweating right now.
Heater in because Westwood, you know how it's always cold for me.
I know. You're like, oh, where's the heat? And stand next to it.
Look who has joined us.
Who's this guy?
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He's here.
X-Man, the X Factor.
No, you're not the only one that has backup.
Dang. The X Factor is in the house. X-Man.
Yeah.
How you doing, Hobby?
Doing good. Really enjoyed the show. I loved your rant. Totally agree with you, Clint. I mean, you got it, and you know it. You know her. I think we're on the same boat.
So I haven't seen the video yet.
Yeah.
So give me the hobby breakdown, the catch up.
Clint's very angry.
He's an angry
throwing elbows, sharp elbows.
Wow.
No. Well, I understand, and I understand where he comes from, and it all boils down to what I personally think it is, and I think Clint may agree. It all goes back to the fiat dollar.
Yes.
That is giving us the problem. It's a derivative of we've been played for a long time, and we've manipulated a lot of the countries, especially south of the United States. I mean, and we're taking advantage of it. But hopefully, we're coming to a change where people are starting to be a little bit more aware of what's going on.
I think we are. I mean, then I see this stuff though, and then I'm like pissed off all over again. I'm throwing elbows then. The UN is sending displaced Ukrainians USDC, but there is hope in this too. I'm the Hopium hustler. So is this the Phoenix moment? Because think of this. This UN is sending displaced Ukrainians USDC, so the digital currency. We know this is the CBDC, right? To convert into local currencies made possible brought to you by Stellar.org, which I think this is the one that kicked me out of the party when we were in Miami last year. I'm not sure. But look at their logo.
It's the same on the token. It's
the same on their token. And Westwood helped me right before we got on here. Hold on. You guys, it looks familiar. So keep that logo in mind. I'm going to share another screen with you guys. And does that look familiar at all to this?
I'll be darned.
There are no coincidences. That's all I can possibly say.
That looks just like this. XML.
Wow. You found
Stellar.
Yes.
That was the cover from The Economist in '88. Dun, dun, dun.
I had gotten it completely out of the politics, just following crypto, and I'm going to be dragged.
And then I drag him into my house.
I know.
I said, "Come here."
It's like me going to meetups. She drags me to the meetup.
Back. And I'm like, no, I only have enough brain cells for a particular amount of crypto. And now, I don't know. I I've kind of avoided the politics because,
You
I was a
can't
Trump.
avoid politics.
I
though.
know I was a Trump. I am a Trumper, but I had gotten to the point where I had shouted it from the rooftops. No one listened. Nobody.
I know.
I didn't change anybody's mind, and so I just
You
went.
don't know that.
Like,
Sometimes you're planting a seed that people hear later. I have had so many people come back to me like a year and a half. Oh, and in fact, speaking of which, even very dear friends of mine that, wait, I missed Eric John's comment. I got to make sure. I'm trying to make sure I get at least everybody's comment up there once. So some good friends of ours that, more than 2 years ago, I sent them videos about the ITMs. And they're like, Lisa, that's ridiculous. Lisa, that's crazy.
on the
ITMs, do you remember the ATMs that just
yes,
coins and all
I do.
that? And now my sweet friends are like, hey, do you have those videos? And I said, I do. And then I couldn't get it sent to them. So I was like, you know what? I'll just play it on the show tonight. Let me share that real quick. And we can just walk down memory lane. It was about this time. It was December 3rd of 2021. Where is my window? We'll just walk down memory lane. Let's see. So we were able Westwood, can you hear that? ITM.
Not right now. Now I can, but it's not very loud.
So are they at all of our locations now?
All of our ATMs have these. So we've got
ITM.
4 of them currently. We're working on getting more.
Okay.
So we've got this one, that one. We've got one 2 blocks north of the drive-through. And we have one down in OKC. So we actually have a fully automated branch that means 24 hours for local businesses. They can sign up for an app called Kisi. And we actually are getting this setup area here over here to do the same. There's going to be rolled coin, straps of ones, things like that.
Rolled coins?
Yep.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they can, because a lot of them will, if they're open, say 15, 16 hours a day, well, what happens if it's 8 o'clock and
Yeah.
we're closed already? They can't get coin for the next day, prepped and ready to go. And so they're
So
getting
this is
access
for
to
businesses to be able to have physical.
access to here, and it's fully self-serve. Most of it's, we get the same customers all the time.
Okay.
This one they're still working on getting up and running. The one down in OKC has been up and running for I think close to 2 years now.
So this is, it would self-serve to get your own coins and
Because of the treasury.
Enrolled
dollars
in it. So
enrolled in it. Okay.
Coin, it's essentially like the ATM, it charges you like you would a vending machine.
Okay.
So there's multiple different machines I can show you.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to see it.
They have it back here.
Yeah. I have no idea. This is what I want you to say. Okay.
So roll coin machine, you select the coin you want, you do the dollar bill, card, like a normal vending machine.
Okay.
Fancy ones.
And that's like our bank card.
Yes.
Or is
Any
that
debit card will work.
any debit card? Okay.
Yep. And then the other one that a lot of businesses love, this one can take deposits or withdrawals. And this is called Bingo or Bingo. So this one you have to be specifically set up on. Again, this one is still working on getting set up. One down in OKC was fun. You put straps to the bills here. They can't be tied together.
Right.
You put
Yeah.
tiles here and a coin in here. You can run a deposit. It sets up by account individually. This is the one you have to be specifically enrolled in.
Okay.
Any coin you kick out here that you want, any coin that doesn't count properly will get kicked out here,
Okay.
and then you'll see the totals, and then just go, well, I want to, stick in more.
Okay.
And so for a lot of businesses, this is really useful because it's self-serve, especially with a lot of the businesses. They're all in the morning and all evening they come over. So we actually had a lot of those businesses down in OKC where they're like, we have multiple locations. You guys help us out in OKC. And so they
Right.
it's called Midtown if you're ever by
23rd.
Pizza and I think it's Capitals is right there and a couple of other restaurants.
Okay.
And so for most people don't even know it's Business Bank. It says Midtown Business Bank.
Okay.
So most people overlook that. I love
That is really cool. Yeah, I didn't even, what was around the corner there? Okay. So back to this. So you'll be able to talk to live tellers. So the live tellers are only specific times, but the ITM.
They're in our business hours.
Okay. But then the other part is available like a ATM 24 hours a day.
Yes. So again, that's for the self-service. And these machines still function as an ATM like normal.
Okay.
If you just stick in your card, it will work just like a normal ATM. The advantage with the ITM feature, which stands for Interactive Teller Machine, is you can do deposits. Well, you can actually still do ATM debit card deposit cash and things like that. But if you're willing to do something, it's a little bit more difficult. Like if you were a non-customer, you could come in and we can actually scan your ID here and do the withdrawal that way. You can do it through the teller because the ATM, I don't think they allow you to select the bills you want, but in the ITM you can do that. We can deposit checks and other features if you want to do.
Even for non-customers, as long as you have the ID. Okay.
It's not. I mean, again, for the non-customers, it's probably gonna be faster over there because it takes a minute.
Yeah.
But it's still very
It's an option
for that. And again, there's only 4 of these machines set up for that, so most people will just come here. Because the main one, most people, which we're hoping this becomes more popular, but most people done in town, those are supposed to be for our customers only.
Okay.
Because again, it's a locked door, you have to be specifically enrolled in it, or customers who can let you in through the door. And that's one of the advantages for the Midtown location in OKC is you don't have to worry, it's just our customers get in.
Right. Definitely safe. That is amazing. I'm really excited about it. So is this something that you guys are going to be like promoting to or rolling out to the customers, sending them emails, telling them to get enrolled in this? Or I guess they don't.
For the ITM, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
If you like, say you get a check that you want to cash, through payroll or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can cash that through here. You can deposit it through here. That's one of the advantages with having this little guy right here. You just stick your license in the slot. We can scan it for you.
And you could choose to receive in coin or put it into your.
This one can't dispense. It can for like whatever.
This gives
Like
small
I can
bits
do a
amounts
roll
of coin.
of
Okay.
You could also put
but
your
like
check
if
in
it's
here,
just like you have again
and then it
75
goes
cents.
on your
Why
card,
Okay.
and you go with the big
So you could put
in the
your check into your account and then go around to the other ITM or the other coin dispenser and get it the rolls.
Yeah,
dispense
you
that
want to do
way.
it that way, yes.
Okay.
But most of our businesses, they're just doing change orders, so they just want to stick in the cash, and then they'll just immediately dispense it out as something else.
Interesting.
Yeah, we get a lot of cash checks. The ITM, most of them are going to be cash check and cash deposits. That's what most people will use it for. We get some cash deposits as well, but you can use a debit card for that as well. So it really just depends. Because most of the time these get used if the lobby is very busy or if our Midtown location, those are typically the other 2 times we get used.
Crazy. So Javi is over here explaining that he's lived through resets before in other countries and that your money goes in, everybody's money goes in, and then tell us what you were telling me.
Yeah.
You do a much better job explaining it.
I've always lived here in the United States, but I've seen the resets. And what they do is the government comes up and goes, hey, we're going to give you 35%. My question's always been, and that's why my defense mode is always up. Why would you offer me 35% when you had me at 10% or 15%? Kind of like the things that I saw on FXT or some of the other
FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, all these big interest paying things.
That's an instant. But for the people that don't know how that works, one day you wake up and those eggs that were $3 are now maybe $43. And the next day you wake up and they're $98. And 2 days after that, it becomes $560 for the same dozen eggs because your money was devaluated. And unless you've seen that, it absolutely, imagine tomorrow breakfast costing you, I don't know, for 2-3 people, $3,560. Well, that's what, a kilo of tortillas is usually, I don't know, maybe $1, and now you're
I
paying
never ordered
5,000.
tortillas in a kilo.
I heard the word kilo and I was like,
You're not,
I was thinking of the bushes for some reason. I don't know why.
you've never been to a Mexican fiesta then, because they
That's
order them.
that is the proper way to order tortillas.
Yeah, and we do it, and understanding that if this is what we're coming to, because as I see Clint trying to educate the people and let them know, listen, the problem is the fiat dollar, and understanding that the fiat dollar, that if, I guess the only way I can explain it is, imagine Clint and the boys and Charlie all playing poker, and I'm the guy in charge with the chips. We're playing with poker chips.
I'm just making the drinks.
And it's going to get better after this, because I'm starting to, the tequila start. No, imagine me being the one in control of the chips. All the other guys have to pay for their chips. I don't, because I'm the one handling the chips and I'm still gambling. I'm going to win, because as soon as I lose, I'm going to get more chips. It did not cost me any more money. Well, that's what's going on with the dollar. We're just, because we've been the number one currency or the world currency. In other words, in Mexico, when you buy a house, it's not settled in their Mexican pesos. It's settled in US dollars. And most people don't understand that. And to understand that, you will find out how much control. Now, of course, the media is what tells you and directs
what
you.
they're talking about here, though.
That
Article that I just shared that said the USDC was being sent to Ukraine.
Yes.
It's another country is having the American dollars, right?
Well, the whole world, and most
the whole
people,
world, yeah.
the whole world actually deals in the US dollar. I'm going to mention two people that dealt outside the US dollar just recently. One was Saddam Hussein.
Yep.
And we know what happened to him. Another person that wanted gold instead of the US dollar, that was also dealing in oil, was Gaddafi. Exactly. And we know what happened to both of them. Understanding the game will let you know where we are going in the future. And that's kind of important. I don't know why I know the things. I never studied much in school, but I do understand. I guess I've lived long enough to understand and see the hurting that the US dollar has caused other people. Now, it's not that I'm against the US dollar. I'm against the US dollar not being maybe on chain or verified.
If sound. It's not sound. Dollar, it's not legit. It's not truthful.
When you go negative $40 on a barrel on oil, and people can't explain why that's still the strongest, that's the world currency. Well, you have a problem there, and most people haven't. Let me go now. I'll get way off. I'll probably need another drink now. But understanding that most
3
people,
hours later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, exactly. just understanding that most people that are educated, like yourself, Clint, are almost trained in a certain way to think inside the box. And because I didn't have that education, and I was actually interested in finding out what was going on with our currency, I think outside the box. And I think that's where a lot of my controversy and me getting dismissed or thrown out of a lot of other spaces comes from, because I have an opinion, but that opinion, I will always win, though I don't have the education that most people have, simply because I keep going to the fiat dollar that is being printed, and we just printed some more. As a matter of fact, to most Bitcoin maxis, I will ask, and I tried to ask that guy that the other day, what gives value? You can't have it both ways. You can't go, well, Bitcoin is better because it's $20,000, and then go, well, we're against Bitcoin, and we're against the dollar. We're against the dollar. Mm-hmm. Well, no, the reason somebody gave that value, and the reason Litecoin is under that, is because we are being controlled, just like they did in GameStop, where they started losing, they stopped the game.
It's their casino.
It's their
So they shut the
casino,
doors and say nobody else in, nobody out, and this is what we're gonna take stock of the chips. We're gonna do an accounting of it, and hey, you got too many chips over here. We're gonna take them and move them to this pile, and it's rigged. It's all rigged. It's their casino.
And now, when you see some of the other countries that have been hurting, well, this game didn't start just recently. It's been going on for a long, long time. And now what you were saying, Blent, I'm 100% with you. Losing people in the forces, losing people in our armies. Give me a reason to fight. There's some kind of UFC fighter that goes, they come to Alabama, I'm throwing down and I'm going to win. If not, I'm not going to another country to go and fight. So I'm going to give it back to Lisa because I can get on my soapbox.
No,
as Clint
I love
knows,
it.
and
I'm going to tie it all together. Lisa, say something because I'm going to explode.
Westwood, take it.
I need someone to translate,
no,
like
no,
All right.
Blind Dave or someone.
I love it. I take it.
Here's the thing that happens. The
This
thing is, the dollar is the U.S. reserve currency. Okay, and that was all anointed, and everybody agreed. And why is it the world currency? Well, because we made this deal. Because they hijacked the energy and said, we're going to have all the energy. We're going to base it in dollars, and that's oil. I mean, oil is the energy. It's the lifeblood of the entire world. And so we made this little deal that all oil has to be purchased in dollars. So everybody had to participate, and that's just how it is. And guess what?
Hold on, Westwood. He's got something.
And one quick thing on that, Westwood, that is the reason why. Thank you. I need that. I hope I don't take over the show, but not only that, but the reason that dollar is so strong is we have 700 military bases all over the world.
Bingo.
And when we have that, it's not
That's what Reggie says too.
It's not to ensure democracy. It's to ensure that dollar, that not one single dollar is spent outside for buying oil outside the US dollar. Now that's changed because now Saudi Arabia, I guess I can't mention our president now, went over there, was not received properly. They should have sent somebody that was from the family to receive him when he did go and ask. And it's because I think they're actually laughing at us. And now, they don't want this dollar. That they know what the game is.
That goes back to what happened in Vegas.
Yes.
That Trump protected the true Saudi prince of who should be really in charge. And that goes back to all the conspiracy stuff and what's really going on behind the movie. And that's where all of this stuff we've been watching over the last few years is a movie. I got the biggest thing of popcorn I could find.
Popcorn drinking.
Woo! One today. I got a big thing of popcorn.
You got a bucket of popcorn.
Because we have been watching a movie. Yes.
Yes. And we're starting to see all the factions behind the scenes starting to spill out into reality. See, they controlled the narrative for very long and kept it in a box. And hey, they're going to release it. Hey, 1947. No, scratch that. Those weren't aliens. Yeah, it was this. It's a weather balloon. And see, that's what they do though. But they're losing control of it because, however you look at it, it doesn't matter. I mean, behind the scenes, there are power players. And there's good, there's bad, there's a mixture of both, and they're all vying to take us in a certain direction because they control all the resources. It's really what it comes down to. Hopefully, the good guys are going to win, and we have to make sure that they win because we are the energy source. We are the people that give the energy to it. So we got to wake up and realize, okay, this is the path that we need to take. But when and Phil sees right in the chat when he says the U.S. dollar is backed by the military. Absolutely is. That's the only thing that's backing the U.S. dollar. Hey, you need to buy oil with the U.S. dollar. And when you don't, Saddam Hussein, when you say you're going to take euros for the dollar, nope, that ain't going to happen. We got Gulf War II, baby. And that's what happens. Hey, Gaddafi, you're going to try and put him on a little gold standard, educate everybody in Africa, bring food prosperity to basically the richest continent in the world with all the minerals and all the resources. And they've been, enslaved by the powers that be forever. And when that happens, it can't happen. We got to stop that. And now you're starting to see it crumble. You're starting to see, I mean, there's so many things where I could go with this. I mean, the free energy is out there, first of all.
Yeah.
Absolutely out there.
It's coming.
And exactly. And you're starting to see it. And you saw the return, what was it? The report, you know, the scientific experiment that just happened. They put like 2.1 in and got 2.4 out of whatever measurement it was.
We did a show on Wednesday with the scientist Ken. So 1 + 1 = 3 now when it comes to fusion, nuclear energy, which is clear, which is clean, which I was screaming about a while ago. I feel like Utsava.
But we all know this, and see, that's the thing.
I said this a year ago.
Javi, you're saying you don't have an education. The thing is, you know, because it's in you, and you came onto this planet, you took on this journey, and you made this deal with God to say, I'm coming back at this time. And I already know something's screwed up. I don't need to read a book. I know it's screwed up. And then you start putting connections together. You're like, okay, I'm just looking at this as a rational human being here. And I know things are screwed up. I can tell who the bad guys are. And you don't need to have the college to tell you that, a piece of paper, and man behind the curtain bullshit. You don't need that.
College,
and you can put the pieces together. We all can, and we're starting to do that.
I got lucky and missed it. Yeah, I got lucky and missed out, and that's where I come in and I go. Oh shoot! Now I got nervous and got scared.
No, you just got to keep on talking.
It'll come back out. No. I do understand that. I've lived long enough now that I see what Vic says about silver. I see what I also have questions on it. I'm like, if they're still if the dollar is still the dollar, then is gold first before? And so I kind of hedge myself. I have gold. I've got silver. I understand what Bix is saying because it makes total sense. But I have a little bit of gold in case they're still in charge. And
because you feel better about having it, don't you? Doesn't it give you a peace of mind? You're trusting yourself to say,
on the
listen.
gold thing, I have thoughts about this. So you know what they took out from under 9/11?
Yes.
Yeah, all the gold reserves. They took it all.
That the elite protect their wealth in gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you what have they been doing to us for all these years? How did they steal our wealth? Print the dollar, right?
Print the dollar, sure.
If there is all this gold that is hidden, that's how they have been preserving their wealth, is by hiding the gold, by keeping it in low supply.
And manipulating it by selling it more than one time.
How do you make them, how do you steal their wealth? You release all the gold.
But here's the only thing.
And it
devalue what they have.
I agree with y'all 100%, but community is what gives it value. If Clint, you don't care about gold, and Lisa and I and anybody else doesn't, then it's only valuable within the community that's accepted. And I learned that from Reggie.
Most of them are dead. So
yeah, the value, there's a difference between price and value.
There's a use case.
People understand. Yes.
What's usable? How can I get those dozen eggs? Because I'm hungry.
Yes.
What do I need to use? And I thought, big hug. Everybody give me a dozen eggs for a big hug.
Well, at that point, do you barter? You know?
Yes.
And this is very interesting.
You barter your energy. You barter what you have. You barter what other people desire. And that's all that money is. That's all art is. That's all anything is. It's what we give power to. That's what we value and treasure from our soul, our spirit.
Here's where we're at a huge disadvantage as U.S. citizens. We're at the disadvantage because we have credit. Most other countries do not allow credit. So if you don't have any money, but you have fish, I'm willing to trade my 12 eggs for your fish. And that becomes a bartering system. Most third world, I'm not saying that South America is a third world country, but those people are used to making those kind of deals. There are very poor people in Mexico.
But that's about being a system based on trust. Because I can only trust you with what's in front of me.
Exactly.
Right?
You can't.
I'm not going to pay you next Tuesday for a burger today.
Exactly. Right, they will only trade within each other, and they have
peer to peer.
Peer to peer, and that's exactly where where we're headed to is we need that system. And I followed Reggie, and I follow him because of the integrity the man has. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I feel I've always been a good judge of character. And the man was teaching people at his kids' school. He was going to Africa, or I don't know, some of the other countries, and also teaching, enlightening, not pushing his coin, not doing anything else, but he was enlightening information. He's probably the person that I see and I respect the most because of the integrity that he has. Now I'm very, very nervous talking to him. When I do talk to him here, I'd have no problem. Y'all are just commoners. But with Reggie, he's always correcting the kids on how they're speaking. I'm definitely not the most eloquent person in the world, but I know what he's saying, and I've seen enough of his videos. I behoove anybody to reach back. Is it going to be the thing that changes everything? I don't know, but I put it this way: I'm willing to stick to my guns and follow him through this because of the integrity that man has. And so kudos to Reggie.
I agree.
If you're
And
listening.
that whole Kim Clemente prophecy where it says that a humble man will help heal the money, and I can't remember all the words with it, but I feel like it's, or maybe it's heal the gold or something like that. I can't remember.
Cue the music. I'll sing it to you. No.
No singing.
No singing.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going
to
give Lisa one of those, oh Lord, moments. After this, I think the only person I've told was Blind Dave, and he was like, "You're effing kidding me," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." But I'll leave that as clickbait. But it's just something I'll tell Lisa, and I'll have her bring it out the way she wants. I'm not shy about any information. It's nothing about Reggie or anything
So you're
else.
gonna tell me a secret later?
Yeah, well, if I drink enough, I may even blurt it out here.
In vino veritas and tequila veritas.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's a person that I followed, and when no one was, I went and saw those old tapes. And the way I learned, I'm a visual person, so I go back and I see those tapes way back then. I go to the Digibyte community, and there's a lot of great people there that I follow that I don't know if they're right or wrong, but their intent and their heart is truly in there for no money. Same thing with the Litecoin community, and same thing with the Bitcoin community. But I also feel that in those same communities, I've kind of been trying to bring up a proof of work, and we should be working together, because understanding that we're all in it together. Put it this way: Litecoin is a fork of Bitcoin. Digibyte is a fork of Litecoin. And understanding that the reason Doge is even there at all is because of Digibyte.
It's because of both of them. It's because of Litecoin and Digibyte.
Exactly. Dandelion's coming up. They're mentioning it. Where did that come from? And these are things that I pick people's brains. That goes to Blind Dave, because when we work together up in New Orleans, I don't leave them alone. I'm like,
it's down in New Orleans.
Down in
You're thinking like South
there,
Florida,
we're
looking up at New
drinking,
Orleans, but you're up in Oklahoma.
You don't know if you're up or down.
I don't even know where I live
Everything
right
that's
now.
up is down. Everything that's up is down. Down is up.
We still need to do a meetup in New Orleans.
No,
Yeah, I'm ready.
we do.
Well, we're
It's
working
coming.
on it.
It's coming. Big things in motion here. There's big things happening.
I'll be there after
We'll leave
Christmas.
it at that.
And I've been helping him, and kudos to this guy. That anybody that's out there complaining, this man has a handicap, which I wouldn't even call a handicap, because he can probably think and have a conversation and translate my thoughts that don't come out very clearly. I do understand that, but he has the patience, and I've really enjoyed our friendship that we have. Anytime I'm running back and forth from Florida to Dallas and Dallas to Florida, That's one of my stops. We go and have some absolutely incredible food, and he knows all the spots. And I'm a big foodie guy, so we really enjoy that. And I help or break things, or I don't know. I just spend time with him, and he accepts my dog also. So we hang out there, and
Oh, so it's a good pup. I
Yeah.
love so my husband, is a big car guy,
yes,
and we love cars here at the Davis household. And when I met Blind Dave at the first Litecoin summit that I went to, I talked to him online or whatever, and he brought what does he call her? Sweet Mama or Sweet Mother?
no, Mama Dearest,
Mother Dearest, Mama
That's
Dearest.
Mother Dearest. I call her Mama Dearest.
Mommy Dearest.
But
That was
his
a movie.
mom came with him, and now he travels like he's the bravest man I ever met. I think
Incredible.
travels by himself, goes all over. But then my husband was explaining to me the master technician, like his degree of so he's crazy smart.
Incredible.
He can. And then one night I got on a Twitter Spaces where he was talking about cars,
yes,
and I just listened in, and I totally geeked out about the car stuff that he was talking about, and I'm like,
Well,
so
he's a
crazy
huge
smart about it.
and I'll tell you, he's a huge advantage.
Really cool.
Most people, I don't know if they know it or not, but he's versed in, I don't know, 40 or 50 coins. And when I mean versed, he knows everything about it. And if he doesn't, he's not the kind of person that goes, yeah, and goes on to his own story. He will tell you. So I call him quite a bit, and I'm like, what about this? What do you think about this? And what about this avenue and how it's linked in?
I think
And he
that's where
actually knows.
Yeah, we all have that obligation of he's taken it on, like the true thing about like educate yourself, and we can all do that. We can take self-custody, and we can all like educate ourselves and
I think that the most important thing
share
that
it with the community.
Thank you, Lisa. And I totally agree, but I am going to continue to push proof of work, people working together and not attacking, not even so much attacking, but we get into a point where we are so into our dominant coin that anybody else, no, it's time to learn. And as Blind Dave, let me mess up what Blind Dave told me, but what I think he said, within 5 minutes, DigiByte could be working right off of Litecoin, and Litecoin could be working off of Bitcoin. And so that all works. But there's also another advantage to DigiByte. Within I'm going to say 15 minutes, and I'm probably wrong, we could be working off of Ethereum also. This is where Dave comes in, because
Until they went to proof of stake, though.
maybe, and he would know. I know nothing. I'm a parrot, and I go into these other spaces and I parrot my thoughts, but I do understand the importance of us working together, because I believe that there are a group of people that are keeping proof of work divided, because to understand proof of work, we are all the same. Maxis, and I'm talking directly to the Litecoin maxis. We do have Bitcoin maxis, but we also have Litecoin maxis, and they need to also understand it's not so whether you think DigiByte is good or not, the advantages we have working together and working within that code, I almost feel that it's being separated. And that's my personal thoughts. I'm sure I'll be ripped a new one in the next
No, I think it's
space.
important. Like if we all believe in freedom, then
That's what I think.
everyone do unto your own. Educate yourself, share the knowledge that you have, but also don't begrudge someone else to stand and choose their own currency. I think part of the power is for everyone. Like we were talking the other day, there should be like where I choose to share my energy, like the bartering system. Well, my energy is, I have this energy to share with you, Javi. I want to do some work for you. Hey, can I come do some work for you? Can I exchange energy with you?
Exactly.
I want to, have drive your car, or I want to go give you some fish and you want to give me some eggs, like that kind of thing. it's not going to be one currency. This holding the idea, that's how they enslaved us, was having one currency. We got to throw that idea out.
Take advantage of the people with the strengths like Blind Dave that will explain, and he's not just a Digibyte guy, because he holds Digibyte and Litecoin and Bitcoin, and he's hedged like I am. By understanding that a guy like that knows not only the Litecoin, but can actually help and advise on how Digibyte could help or how Bitcoin can. He's as knowledgeable as most of the people on the strictly Litecoin space. And dude, I love those guys. I own a lot of Litecoin. I have a lot of Litecoin, but I have a lot for what most people would think. 3. I'm just joking, but I do have enough to where there is an interest for my Litecoin, and I look. I get in an argument with Indic. We used to get in some differences of opinions with Indigo, but that man is a world of knowledge for Litecoin. I respect that. I respect David Schwartz that I had a difference of opinion with, but I'm also going to tell you the information that we are sharing. We can't go and share 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 6-year-old. There would be nothing better, and I think Litecoin Lisa and Clint would be a great moderator to get 2 different communities to understand each other, with Blind Dave kind of just refereeing and understanding, because he's a man that knows both coins to the very end.
So Westwood, what do you think about that, Westwood? I didn't know there was a rift.
I've noticed it because I'm an observer mostly. I usually don't get out there and, like I did today, and start talking stuff that I shouldn't. I'm accepting of everybody. I mean, I really am. And you want to do what you want to do, you do you, boo. I mean, that's just how I do what you want to do. I got my own opinions, but the thing is, they're my opinions. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You know how to live. But I have noticed that. You've got more of a gravitation lately within the last year toward the Litecoin, some of the Litecoin community, I don't want to be sweeping generalization, man. Get out the big broom. I'm sweeping up. No, I've seen with the Litecoin community, they've gravitated more towards Dogecoin a lot as opposed to Digibyte. Not that there's a choice. It doesn't matter, because we should all of it's good. It's all proof of work.
Thank you for that.
But I've seen that because, and I get it, because Litecoin and Dogecoin are merge mined. And Dogecoin, it's an unlimited supply. And that's the only thing that I personally am like, But long term for Litecoin, when Litecoin mines out after our death, 100 years from now, the equipment that mines it, whatever it is at that point, plasma stuff, Tesla equipment, free energy, whatever it is, that network will continue, because there will be rewards to continue to mine Dogecoin, because it's unlimited. It will continue, and then it still validates the Litecoin transactions. And so but I have noticed that there's a lot of people in the Litecoin community who have Dogecoin, the big 3: Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, not in that order necessarily. I, on the other hand, resonate more with Digibyte, because I'm a car guy too, in case you haven't noticed.
You are. He's got all the
I got 2 Digibugs, actually. I want all the Digibugs. Give me all the Digibugs. Yes. I eat all the bugs.
All the Digibugs.
And and so it's hard to work on them, though, because they're so tight, on these hands, and getting in there, it's rough. But I want to do it myself because, proof of work, right? But I mean, Digibyte to me is a very important component, because it is in that family tree. You've got Bitcoin. It's the same code. And I talk about Redcoin, and people will say, oh, that's a crap coin. Yeah, kind of, because it doesn't have a lot of use case, but I see the value in it, because it's something that you can. It was a proof of work coin. It's a fork of Litecoin. It's got 1-minute blocks. And anyway, I don't want to go into it, but I mean, you can get rewards for validating that network on your PC, on your laptop. I mean, on just a piece of junk computer. And it's one of those things to where it's like, I look at being able to do peer-to-peer transactions. And I think that's important, having whatever form of money you choose to use, and we all choose to use it and choose to give it power, because that's where
Community.
It is, and it's really what it comes down to. It's the
That's what
community.
gives it value. Tulips were only valuable because the community gave them
Right, and
value. Seashells were there.
They had a purpose. There was, they all have their fundamental values because of whatever reason. Hard to find certain seashells, certain tulips, this and that. Hard to find gold, hard to find silver. Okay.
I haven't done my homework on Dogecoin, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I do know that Digibyte fixed Dogecoin, and thank you for that, Digibyte. Also,
absolutely. And Litecoin, Charlie Lee came along
Bitcoin
and said,
Cash.
listen, it's going to die. Why don't you merge mine with us? And that's what kicked off Dogecoin.
This is
and
where
so
I
it's
had
like community working together and wanting to, and that's why I like Charlie Lee, even though people say he sold at the top, it doesn't matter. But what he's done for the community, you need people like that who are all about having money in your possession that you can use. And you can choose to use whatever you want to frickin' use.
And put it this way, if Dogecoin is part of it, great.
Good.
But we do. Here's
but
the
don't
thing
disparage
that
somebody
Davis
because
told
you
me.
don't like Dogecoin and you like Litecoin. Well, you should like Dogecoin. What's wrong with you?
Let me express this one on Digibyte. Digibyte isn't just currency like Litecoin. It's not just
it's
currency.
Technology too.
It's the technology behind that. It's, I don't know what the word is. I wish Blind Dave was here.
Litecoin is too, with Mimblewimble,
and it is
OmniLite.
But
absolutely.
Take a look.
NFTs.
Let me enlighten what Blind Dave said.
This is the thing, is like when two people should not be fighting, they should be friends.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, and we are. But let's be honest.
Would you rather use
This is what
Would you rather use this?
Here's the other thing.
Right,
This is what
that's my whole
evil
game.
ones have done to us for how many years? They've
Divide
said, you're
and
red,
conquer.
you're blue, you're black, you're white.
No,
and instead it's the elites and the USDC that we should be
we are
turning
fighting
against.
each other. And that's why I sometimes think, are there shills that are purposely having us, for us to argue like that idiot that was on it.
And
on
Johnny
our
will
show
say
last
that.
week.
And we got into that last week in the spaces
Yes,
because that's exactly what it is. I mean,
he
it's
wasn't
just
going
like,
to hear that.
A distraction. Yeah.
Yeah, why do we care? I
So,
mean, I can take Bitcoin, I can take Litecoin, I can take Dogecoin, I can take Digibyte. I don't care. The thing is, though, to me, certain ones hold certain advantages. I mean, if somebody's going to pay me something, Digibyte's pretty cool because it's 15-second blocks. I don't have to wait for it. I don't have to wait for, I didn't send enough transaction fee, and now I'm waiting all day for my Bitcoin because, the wallet didn't, put enough transaction fee in it. And it's all about use case and being able to use it. And it comes down to that. It's like, why are we allowing people over here, over there, or, to tell us what is the right form of money?
The they. We're waiting for the they once again to give us permission or to tell us.
Don't ask for permission. Just do it. Just go with what you believe in. Go with what you find that works. And a lot of people in crypto haven't used crypto. They have not used it. And they just look at it as it's a number go up. That's the one I want to be in. This is pumping. Okay, well, that's the thing to be in. And it's like, okay, well, try and use it. That's why at the meetups, Lisa, what do? I give them Litecoin. Hey, pull out your wallet, boom, 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 boom. And it's like, I'm not giving them an ERC20 token because, sometimes, the Ethereum gas fees were ridiculous. And and Bitcoin takes too long to get there. And it's like, for that purpose, I want to give them something that has some value. And Digibyte's faster. I could have given them Digibyte, but I give them Litecoin because, it's a fixed supply. There's only so much to go around. And Digibyte's the same way. It's just like,
donated it to us to hand out.
You know what? It's incredible. And that's why hopefully one day, Lisa or you or both of you can co-host a space where you bring in both people. There's Johnny Law, boy, I really respect him. Laura, there's Master in both places. Jose, these are the people that I know that I've spoken often. I do not know anything about tech. I barely know how to copy and paste, but I do understand the energy and the power, the commitment that these people now, Indigo, Underground, Boggle Moss, Mega, who is also into Monero. I don't know as much about Monero. I know it's a privacy coin, but I know that the energy that they're giving each
Monero
other.
just got hacked.
Oh,
What did? What happened?
Yeah,
Monero?
Monero just got hacked.
Really? That was probably a CIA op. Because
That
they've
was
been trying to break it forever. The IRS put
exactly.
agents and all kinds of money behind it to try and crack it and get into
So
it, and because it's private.
that was a bad.
I do want people that have. Here's where we need to understand. We need to not go to the pep rallies, and I'm not saying that some of the talks are Litecoin or Digibyte, but I see it on both sides where it becomes a pep rally. We don't want anything that even sounds like it's hurting our coin. No, I want to bring out that I'm the guy that beats that hornet's nest like a piñata. And I know I'm going to get stung, and I got stung, and people throw me off their things, and I'm okay with it. I'm still back that next week because I hope they know that the intent is I want to bring out the questions that people are afraid to ask, and they may be stupid. Okay, dude, I ask a bunch of stupid, but out of 10 stupid ones, maybe I bring up 2 that make some sense. And right now, us proof of work, working together, if there are shills that are trying to divide us into a certain way of thinking by us being against each other, then I'm going to be the guy that tries to put us together because the value that comes in there. I've spoken with Dave. Jesus, it doesn't have to be an argument. It's understanding that we have a bunch of great people in Digibyte. We have a great bunch of people in Litecoin. I don't know much about Bitcoin, but I have some Bitcoin too. And as long as we're working together, the community is going to give the value. Do not get confused with value. And this is for Indigo. He actually tweeted this. Understand the difference between price and value. And he quoted that, and I commented to him, and he gave me a big heart. Hey, Indigo's one of the smartest people in Litecoin. I like him. I know that they're very intelligent. Let's bring it all together. I'm not going to be in the conversation. Underground should be, and Boggle Moss and some of the great brains of that particular space that I admire for their knowledge that they have. Mega,
Chunky Buns.
Chunky Buns. Well, that's her.
I still
her
call
name.
him that.
Chunky Buns. But all I want to do is try to get this community, and it's almost to the point where it's like, oh, I don't want to mention this because I don't want to start up an argument. And I'm sure I'm a big cause of that argument. But if I hear something that doesn't make sense or it's not being expressed the way I've heard it or I understand it, I'm going to mention it because this is what these communities are. If we just want a pep rally, we need to just say, hey, only Litecoin people, only Digibyte people. And Digibyte, we have the same, Brian.
Focus on the tech that
there you go,
originally,
thank you.
Bitcoin was created for the tech because, we came out of 2008 and we saw how we were trapped. We were enslaved by the dollar, and we can see what it's doing. Again, we're at that point. And this is a point for us to choose freedom because of the tech, not because of number go up, not because of comparing it to the value of the dollar. And so if we will choose the tech because of the things that Litecoin can do, because of the things that Digibyte can do, and if we will stop comparing it to and valuing it for how it matches up to this fake dollar that is, valued by bullying the rest of the world
100%.
And, killing people that are trying to free other people, then that's when we will all be free together.
Thank you. We are. Let's work as a team.
And we bring our own self-value back.
And let's take advantage of each other's power, energy that we have.
But you have to appreciate each other in that.
Thank you. And
appreciate
understand
the individuality and say, oh, look, you're different. That's when, so once again, it's not about being, oh, we're all the same, which is what they've been trying to tell us, have the mob mentality. Javi's different than me, and I celebrate his difference.
Boom.
I celebrate my difference. I celebrate Digibyte's different.
Yes.
And it does different things than Litecoin. We need to celebrate our differences.
And understand it,
right?
And not be afraid to go into each other's spaces. And I'm starting to see it. I see, I hate to mention names, but I'm going to because I don't care.
You've been a name dropper.
Yeah, Gladden goes in. I've started to see him in the Litecoin. You know, good for you. Can't wait till you start speaking. I respect what you have to say. I want people listening not to pick the fight. I don't want it to be a maxi, let's get over here and argue or go into Litecoin just to talk about Digibyte. But we do have other help. I'm starting to see I see Apollo I've seen him over at our Digibyte talks, and we have talked to Apollo. I respect Apollo quite a bit. Mega has been in Digibyte and Litecoin, and he's willing to hear from everybody. There is some way of I guess hiding, and I'm not saying hiding your identity, but Digibyte has it's Dandelion, which is a huge, and I believe Litecoin is working.
It masks your IP, Dandelion.
Let me tell you what Blind Dave told me. Dandelion is that weed that when you blow, it blows all over the place. So that's how it got named, and you can't put it all back together.
Right.
I know I screwed that up, Blind Dave.
No, but that's what we want, though. We want something like that because
here we go.
I mean,
thank you.
Why do you want this? Why do you want to continue to use this when they've changed it? And we went through this early on. Why do you want this? Oh, look what Andrew Jackson says.
Buy Litecoin.
Yeah. But I mean, I need to buy Digibyte stamp too. But you've got, I mean, we've gone through the iterations of, hey, you know what? The dollar, constitutionally is supposed to be, 371.25 grains of silver. Okay. That's a dollar. It's based on a certain weight of silver. And then they put silver certificate on. Oh, yeah, they got silver certificates. And you can redeem this for, $1 worth of silver. And this is 1935. This one was made. And then I got a $5 bill that's got it. Yeah, same thing. And now we end up with this. It says Federal Reserve note, has no value, nothing backing it, not out of the Treasury, not the people's money anymore. And so they've basically taken away any value, any store of energy that we can possibly put into our currency. No money. We have no money.
We always go back to.
Right. There's no money.
Dollar is a piece of crap because we keep
printing. Has no value.
And it has no value.
Has no value. And they've used it as a tool to enslave humanity. And that's what we have to understand. So it's like, all right, well, there's all these other tools out there. There's Digibyte, there's Dogecoin, there's Bitcoin, there's Litecoin, there's all these other coins that are weapons. One might happen to be, just a 6-shooter. One might happen to be a 30-round clip. One might happen to be an anvil, a hammer. One might happen to be whatever, a knife, a dart. We all have different skills and we all resonate with different kinds of tools. That, hey, some people can swing a hammer better than others. Some people can take up a saw and do something better. Doesn't matter. We're all different. And so to think that there's only one tool, one weapon to fight this monetary war is silly. I mean, it's silly. I mean, you have to realize what this has done to the world and what they've used this illusion to do. And the owl on the back of the $1 bill, when you find the owl, all this stuff we've heard about, it's there. I mean, it's there. And it's there for a reason, because it's a big magic trick. It's a big illusion, and they laugh at us. And that's the thing that really ticks me off. They laugh at us, and they put this, and they say, hey, use this. But what do they do with it? All they do is try to enslave other people with it. And Lisa, with the Whitney Webb stuff, do a little research, order those books and start reading, and you'll start to understand that these people are just doing nothing but manipulating a structure, a system, and they're using it against you, and they come out and they say they're your friend, they're going to give you this, give you that, and give you goodies here and there. You got to look around at your everyday life and what really
it's our
matters.
responsibility. It's
personal responsibility that we have to go out and we have to say, what do we need in the daily, on the daily,
If I know.
and start unplugging from a system. Walk out of a casino. The reason why the casinos are beautiful and are big and they're artificial and they look like Paris and they look like, you go to Vegas, a perfect example, in the middle of a desert where they have no water, and they have these glorious buildings. I hate Vegas. I hate it. And it's just this artifice, it's like this Hollywood set. That's all it is, to try and mimic everything that people have done and throughout history and all the great things that have been built. And you've got, it's based on nothing but an illusion. You go into this casino and you get, hey, here's the poker chip for this casino. Hey, you go in this one. This is the poker chip for this casino. And it's like, it's good as long as you're in the casino. And then, you know what? You go to the cashier window with the bars on it, and you might be able to cash it out. I don't know. You can't really get back to the table. We'll comp your room, do this. We'll give you all these goodies to continue to play. That's all they want you to do is continue to play. And if you continue to play, what happens? They win.
Unless you wait too long and they change out the color of the money.
Right. And then all of a sudden the black chip becomes a blue chip. And it used to be $100 and now it's $10. And you can't get as much out of it.
The eggs cost $700.
Exactly.
Right.
You will wait.
If you can print money, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so when they say it's inflation, we're fighting inflation, or we're fighting inflation. No, you created the inflation, and you're not talking about real inflation. Real inflation, monetary inflation, is just creating more money. And that more money goes into things, and it drives up the cost of things. And then you have price inflation. And so most of the people don't understand when they hear inflation, and the mainstream media tries to deceive you. Oh, inflation is up. Well, the cost of everything is up. That's price inflation. That's a result. That's an after effect of creating more money. And when you have something that comes along, and I did a little research on this today when I got these bills out. I did a little research. And what happened is, you look at what happened in the 1800s. A lot of silver happened to get found, after 1850. And then a lot of gold came along, like Vic says, in the 1900s. And see, you don't know how much there is. And so if those people happen to have more of it, they can manipulate the price of it. With cryptocurrency, it's fixed in code. You know exactly how much there is. And there's no questioning. You've got the rules defined. And it's like, I'm not walking into a stadium and not knowing which ball to bring into the stadium, a soccer ball, a football, a baseball, whatever it is. You now know how much is available with cryptocurrency. And you think, okay, well, there's only 84 million Litecoin, for instance. That's only 100th of a Litecoin for every person in the world. 100. If I buy one for $70, I got one Litecoin. And the math confirms that. And I know that it can't be inflated. Bitcoin, same thing, 21 million. Digibyte, 21 billion. I know how many there are. So I know the rules of the game. See, that's what scares them, because with cryptocurrency, it's math. We know how much there is, and we can play that game, and we can win at that game. They don't want us to win at that game. That's why we have all this deception. That's why crypto's bad, because, FTX collapsed. But that's not crypto. That's the legacy system, as Lisa says. That's the legacy system to where they've convinced you, hey, the banks don't pay any yield. Why don't you? Celsius was a perfect example of this. I ain't knocking it, whatever, but this is what happened. A lot of people were saying,
education.
Why would you have money in the bank that's paying 0.25% interest on $100,000? Take that $100,000 and put it in Celsius and make 10% on the USDC.
10%. When they had you
do that? You're stupid not to do that. And then you put it in there and the whole thing collapses, because they control that system. They cannot control crypto because it's nothing but words. It's code running on a bunch of computers that we decide to run. And it's outside their system. And they want to convince us that
rehypothecation, I think, is the word. Really?
Right.
Derivative on a derivative on a derivative.
Bix has been teaching about it for a long time. They can sell resell the loan 9 times or whatever, resell the.
That's on the books, Lisa. You put 10,000 in the bank, and they're going to loan out 90,000
GameStop.
and
There
give
was 100
interest on
for
it.
instance, in
And
GameStop.
then you go to take your 10,000 out, and that cash is not in the bank.
Yeah.
In other words, GameStop had 100,000 stocks of it, but they sold 150,000. Listen, they're playing us, and they're the one with the bots, and they're the one with the bots here. Understanding, you know what? My kudos, because I learned so much from Jay Snip. He is the, I wish I knew one tenth of what he knows on computers. I understand how he does extremely well, and I love him to death for that. Not all of us could play that game. Understanding where the bots come in right now, you think you're going to beat them. For them to make money, they have to have 90% of us going one way so that they could take advantage of that 90% of the people.
Because they have
Be a
people
contrarian.
like Kevin O'Leary.
Thank you.
Scammer, vampire, piece of crap.
Well, yeah.
Piece of crap.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly what you said earlier.
But he got paid $15 million to shill it. So why wouldn't he take those US dollars, that Canadian, take those 15 million US dollars? Why
we're
wouldn't
gonna
he?
punish Kim Kardashian for selling an NFT, but Kevin O'Leary just, he just.
I'd invest with him
screwed.
again.
Really? He got screwed? Yeah. Wait, you're the guy that you're the investment guy.
Million.
You're the guy. How the hell did you get guy that picks out good companies? If he can't see that FTX was a fraud, why are you watching Shark Tank? Why are you trying to get him to invest in your company? This guy's an idiot. He's an idiot based on that.
Thank you.
That alone.
Good entertainer. He's an incredible entertainer.
He's an entertainer.
He's an idiot.
Thank you.
He's
Welcome
an
to the
idiot.
Hunger Games.
But scales falling from people's eyes, though, in all this.
Maybe, you know what?
Are they seeing the truth and starting to trust themselves in all this?
I'm going to tell you this because people feel sorry for the people and I feel sorry for the people that lost
their energy that they put in there.
But
thank you, Tom Brady. Thank you, Steph Curry. Thank you, Larry David. Thank you, Kevin O'Leary. Thank you, all these people that got into it and shilled it, and people respected them. You know what? That's the lesson here. You better not respect anybody except yourself.
But let's not go after SBF or whatever his name is. There's bigger.
He's a shill.
He's the idiot.
He's the useful idiot. He's just like Oswald. I mean, that's all he is.
They are willing to sacrifice their own
and their own children, literally.
Because this guy is an idiot. He didn't know code.
It's a death cult. That's all they are.
What the hell's going on? Let's go into woo-woo a little bit. What do y'all think about? Are there people that just get it? I've talked to Blind Dave. I go, are there people that just get it and they are I've met you, Clint, once at your place. I feel like you're my brother. Lisa, my sister, I would do anything for you. Y'all ask me tomorrow to go there. I'll be there tomorrow. No problem. But is it just that there's a few of us that are connected? Shit, I would have never done this. You saw me. You were the first place that I came on.
I remember.
And I'm not a very eloquent speaker.
I remember.
My mind goes all over the place. But I finally said, I'm ready to speak up. Now I'm speaking at Reggie. Dude, I have no business speaking in the midst of Reggie because I don't have the vocabulary and I can't express myself. And I can't express what I do know on some of the stuff that I know in Vertosium just from following the videos. I don't know him personally, but I know his motto that he's going. Same thing here. But I'm going now. I'm here at I'm like, dude, you're 3 hours away. I could be there by happy hour. She's like, come on down. Come on, let's go.
I go. Don't sing it. Come on down.
Say a bunch of stuff. Go down. Put on my freaking hat and
he's good to go. No, Light Shadow in the chat said star seeds, and that I agree with that. I mean, there are, and you can call it whatever you want. And I've said this for a long time. I haven't gotten into it lately, but I think we've all chosen to be here for a reason. We've all chosen to come back right now at this transition as we move into the age of Aquarius. And I'm an Aquarian, happened to be born at that time. And it's just that energy of pouring out the knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm all about just dump it. Dump the knowledge. That's why I'm like, 20 years. Dump the knowledge. Let's just inundate people with it so they have to make a choice. And that's what it comes down to. You make a choice. You better trust yourself, know discernment, know who you are, get right with God, understand what's going on right now. You got to make a choice.
I walk in. I've met Charlie. This guy's a ball of energy. And I've told him that. I go, I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know. People Lisa may have started wondering. I hugged this guy like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, no, dude, I need more of your damn energy. I don't know what understanding and that's why I go, I'm not a connected guy. I'm not a studied guy. I'm not a philosopher. I am a guy that I've been gifted with seeing bullshit through people, and I'll call it out. I'm not afraid. Obviously, I've offended a lot of people.
Yeah, you pissed the
aren't going
people
to be
off.
accepted.
Good people, you pissed
And
them off.
great
But you know
people.
what? You're friends
Because
now.
I wanted
But
more
you're friends now.
information. I
Because it's
wanted
about the
more
truth.
information for the community. And so when I run into people like Charlie, and dude, I'm like, dude, give me another. Give me. Before you know it, he's probably going,
No,
why do you keep hugging on me?
no, you've asked some hard questions. We were in the Veritasium chat, and people didn't know Javi's heart behind, and he was pushing and asking the hard questions. And a lot of people will be fanboys, especially about a coin, because they're like, I have a big bag and I just want to be a fanboy and I just want to hear the pump.
He's a shill.
Hoorah.
He's this.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, anybody
And so he was like, look, I legitimately want to take every attack. I want to know this coin or this project can take every attack. And so do we have all of the supports in place? If we're a family, and if you're a family, like, you need to be able to ask the hard questions. Can you take the hits? Are the supports there? And so he was pushing back and asking the hard questions, and people were throwing arrows at him like crazy. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
I know his heart, and I know where he's coming from. And we need to, and I care about Veritasium, and because I know it is a truth machine, and I want to know, can we withstand these arrows? And so we had to come back and say, and once you get past the fanboys, because I'll tell you, like, I mean, you guys, you've seen them. You see those guys, like, I've been around. So even in my local community, my husband and I have had this talk about, like, there are these people back in the day. This is pre-crypto, when I was doing work with nonprofit work. There are these people that are very wealthy in the community, and they show up to events, and you're like, who told them to wear that? Or, oh my God, they didn't cut their toenails. Or, like, there is a certain basketball
Westwood
player.
shows up. Look out.
There is a certain
With his
basketball
pom-poms.
player
Tank
from
flaps.
Oklahoma City
Tank top.
who shall remain nameless, who is very tall. And I was
Did he play basketball?
I was meeting with him about donating toys, and he obviously has been around too many fanboys, and he's bent over and rubbing his toenails, and then he goes out to shake my hand, and I went in immediately for the side hug. I'm not touching your hands after you've been rubbing your toenails.
Yeah.
So, and then I told him later, we had more conversations, like,
Should have washed his feet.
you got to do something about that. You cannot rub your hands. You got to be aware of yourself when you're having meetings with people. And he's like, huh? Because he's been a star athlete growing up all his life. He's been surrounded by yes people. So, like, anyway, I digress, and I need another drink. But we cannot be surrounded by.
Where's Charlie?
We cannot.
I'm the hey boy.
We cannot be.
Go get a drink.
I think to Javi's point, and I'm probably sweating him out because I got that heater turned up to like 80 in here.
Turn it down.
I'm usually by myself. So we cannot be so tribal.
But I want to be in the country club and brush shoulders with, the special people, Lisa.
Well, the
I
special
want to be at the country club.
are
I want to
you.
be at the
You are the
fundraiser.
special people. You are enough.
I'm
You
special, all
bring
right.
value
We used to have a short
as
bus.
yourself. And so that's what I'm saying is like, let's all be self-aware and let's bring value. And let's not just all sit on our laurels and rub our toenails and not be aware and hope that we're surrounded by yes men, because it's not a good look for us. Okay. So anyway,
I'd rather somebody get out there and ask questions that they think are stupid, because that's what we're here for. It's about truth. It's about education.
You can't take some pushback that's a healthy question, a respectful question. Like, you should be able to take the pushback that is a healthy, respectful question that's waiting for an answer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you got to start waking up. We got to stop joining the cliques and stop, rah-ing with, whatever they give to us to rah for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you've got every individual has the power of the universe within inside them. It's inside. I mean, you're connected to God. You're made in the spirit of God, right? I mean, most religions hopefully will teach that. And religion, I don't want to get into that, but it's, that though, you've had those moments and you're special. You know that there's something about you that's, you're not living in some kind of video game. You're not some little character that somebody else controls. I mean, you have those moments where it's like, I want to say something. You know what? Say it. Who cares? Say it. Say it, because there's 10 other people sitting in the audience that are thinking the same thing.
Yes,
and when you stand up and step forth and you assert yourself as a human being, other people resonate with that. And they're like, yes, I'm alive. I'm not living in desperation anymore. Quiet desperation, as Thoreau said. Henry David Thoreau. Walden. I mean, don't be that person. Don't live that life knowing that you had something to give. You knew you had something to give and you didn't give it. I mean, don't go to your grave like that. I mean, that's the most important thing. It's like, I'm human, and just assert yourself and be human, because there's so many other people that need that spark. They need to be awakened. And the silent majority. I mean, we're here. That's us. And it's just like, why are we? Look at diaper wearing President Biden. I mean, look at this guy. Absolute freaking ridiculous shit show is really what we're watching. I mean, why are you letting these people control you and listening to their every word? Is he going to do this? Is this going to happen? That going to happen? Who cares what happens? Make it happen at the grassroots level.
Do you remember that? I don't know if it was a meme or a video of like people walking up, and there was this old guy in like
Mitch
a very ill-fitting. Mitch is awake.
Mitch is awake.
It's only 6. It's only 6.
It's only 6.
Hi, Mitchie.
But in the UK, what time is it? So he might be on UK time. I don't know.
You remember that? I don't know if it's a meme or a video.
There's on California time. 2 hours behind. I don't know.
With like a paddle of some kind, and he's walking by, and he's like kind of swiping people, checking them for dangerous things, and then they
he's just like Charlie G. You posted that before in the chat. He's
but
just
it's like people submitting themselves to things that they don't like. Just walk past it. Why?
I saw a video the other day where a cop is giving a breathalyzer to somebody, and the guy's drunk, and he's putting his microphone or his handheld walkie-talkie, the antenna of it. He says, "Here, blow in this," and the guy's like, my God, where are we? I mean, seriously, and you see that and you think, okay, well, humanity is lost. It's like, no, humanity's not lost, because all it takes, I mean, we write books about leaders who step forth and, they just say what they feel and people resonate with it. Jesus Christ, for instance, this guy was completely unaccepted by the establishment. And, he comes out, and people hated him and this and that. But you know what? You got a whole 2,000 years later, how many people believe in that spirit?
Yeah, it's probably a good guy. It seems like he's very, accepting of others.
Hey, brother, I see you. I see your face. You're just Lisa thinks I just went to go and get her a drink. I had to go get another hug from Charlie. I missed
Lord.
I missed
Lord.
I miss a big bear hug from you too, my brother. It's
Aw.
just
It's coming. The bear
energy,
hugs are
energy,
storing
man.
up. They're going to
I feel it.
explode.
I don't know. I would never mention that because, look, I'm just about to turn 60, and dude, if I told my regular
Do I
friend,
need to get the rainbow flag out
what's wrong with you?
and wrap myself in the rainbow flag? I've got Mitch
I
by
don't
the
have
rainbow flag.
I look forward to the meetups. I look forward, and anybody that's out there, if you ever get a chance to go into a Litecoin Lisa Clint Westwood meetup, I went and I didn't know anything. I walked in with a big this time I was wearing a big cowboy hat and a big German Shepherd dog, and I was totally accepted. My dog was accepted. Everybody accepted, and I
My
don't
daughter
remember much
still
after that,
say, "When's
but it
Oso
was-
coming back?" You know, when's
Yeah,
Oso coming back?
yeah,
Oso.
he's
Oso,
there.
where's
And like
Oso?
I said, I enjoyed that. I enjoy, man. I can't wait to wake up. I actually wake up to read, Silvertooth or the comments Polly P makes. And tomorrow he'll comment on my hat like he commented on my shoes when I was over at Elon Musk's place. But, I expect that. And no, it is a Stetson,
You
an
got
old
to get a
Stetson.
little
But
haze from
yeah.
the fam.
And I do.
Yeah.
Hey, Polly P, he knows if I'm driving to New Orleans or making a long trip, that's my go-to. I'm gonna call and see if he's on and have some deep conversations. We don't let each other
Thoughts
speak.
with Polly P.
Yes.
Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy.
Damn, we need to start a show, Deep Thoughts with Polly P. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome.
I got some pictures of some deep thoughts with Polly P. I don't know. Let's leave it at that.
I took some pictures with. Never mind. I don't even want to
wait
go
a
into
minute,
that.
Wait a minute. We got
A lot of what Javi's talking about happens on Twitter. What happens on Twitter apparently goes everywhere. But I mean, on Twitter, we do spaces, and Twitter has something called spaces. I know we're on YouTube now, but I mean, Twitter has something called spaces to where you can, just host a space and everybody can jump in, get together, and there's no video or anything. It's just all audio. And if somebody wants to talk, the host of the space can say, "Hey, yeah, let them talk." And that's how I met Javier. Had a space, Friday nights, sometimes I'll have a space, and usually after happy hour, had a few drinks, talk about a lot of things. And it's that's what I met Javi. And so if you're not on Twitter, you need to create an account on Twitter and jump into some of these spaces, because that's where the information's at. And even more so right now, that's where the truth's at. That's where the information is coming out. And you want to follow this because you have access to, Reggie Middleton, the developer of Veritasium. You hear from people, Litecoin Foundation, people in the Litecoin Foundation, people in Digibyte. And you hear about, and you're able to interact with these people and gain knowledge. Never before in history have we had this opportunity to where we can, this technology that can destroy us or enlighten us. Never have we had this opportunity to where we can connect with each other like we do now, and be able to share truth and and be called out and call each other out and examine ourselves and examine our beliefs. But that's so important right now. If we're going to raise ourselves as human beings, we need to communicate. We need to have these experiences. And I put out a video today, and people took offense. I got a message from somebody, and it's like, but it was one of those things to where it's like, hey man, nothing against you. It's just like, I'm calling out the system. I'm calling out this. I appreciate your service, and I want to meet you. He wants to meet me, and it's one of those things to where this is bringing us together, and we have to utilize that technology. We have to embrace it and understand that that's where we're going. We're going into this digital age. We have the tools at our disposal like never before to expose the darkness and bring light to it. And we have to do that.
Self, but face the human in front of you and see them as
know who you are, know who they are.
So Joshy Lake is in the chat, and
love him, even though I got to hug him like this.
I know. Oh yeah,
so tall.
I remember Josh.
Gigantic. Huge heart, huge, wonderful human,
incredible,
huge brain. Real talk, he says, and we're talking to another generation. I think this is where like the blockchain, the truth of our generation and the power and the passion that we have for truth and carrying this on can be passed to another generation. And Josh wants to embrace the freedom mindset that we have and pass it on and share it with his friends. But a lot of his friends are like, he's in California. He's like, he's like, I have a hard time expressing this side of myself out here in California. Any advice on being more authentic around the normies? How does he be that coffee bean? Help?
Let me help you, Josh.
Yeah.
First of all, I remember you at that country western bar in Oklahoma. You need to learn
to Oklahoma.
You need to learn a two-step or something, because that whatever you were calling that as a two-step wasn't a two. You look good dancing to it, but it wasn't a two. No, I do. Right. I do love Amy and Josh and Paige and of course Bix. You know what I've learned, and that's how I got into crypto, was through actually following Bix. I was into metals and Bix just resonated, and then Cliff High just blew me over the top. And I was there when Cliff said it'll hit $222, and to the day, wham! It'll hit 888 3 times. Bam!
It's gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce. And I mean,
it was absolutely incredible.
Take that back, though. Take that back. How did he know that? Where did he get his information from?
Okay, but let's focus on this. Is about changing generations.
I'm sorry.
And we're empowering another generation. We're focusing. You guys are the elephants. You guys are the bull elephants that are helping to lead another generation. You're giving Joshy advice.
The wrong people. We've been drinking. Josh, don't ask it.
I'm steering the conversation. We're giving Joshy advice.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yes. Lisa, take the wheel. We're giving Joshy advice. Help him be the coffee bean around his normie friends, because he is a freedom leader. He's for the next generation, being that strong voice of in front of his normie friends.
I'm going to tell you that, you know what? I run into this problem because I've talked to my family. And when I'm doing really, really well, they seem to listen. When the market goes down, they're worried. Everybody's asked, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I am okay. I understanding that these people aren't going to get it. Don't help whoever wants to be helped. Let the other ones go, and if they come back and asking for help, then help them then. But yeah, it's I don't know, Clint. You say something smart.
It's really tough. It really is, because I've been through it, and I thought, man, I've known Lisa since like 2018. We started interacting in, like November-ish, October-ish in 2018, when you're, coming out of the, getting into crypto, right when you first got on. You're in Ben's chats, and you hosted that meetup in Oklahoma. That's when I first knew you, and I'm like, it's 4 years already, and then we met in Blanco, and then it's just the rest is history. But at the time, I've been into crypto for a long time and known about it for a long time. Didn't believe in it for, it took me 4 years before I believed in it. And I knew about it in 2013 and was like buying a little bit of Bitcoin, and and it's just, I mean. People will come to it at their own pace. And I look at my energy and what I have to give. I only got so much energy in this life. Only have so much that I have to give. And I'll be the megaphone, and I'll put it out there. And yesterday, to go along with what you were saying, Javi, Mitch and I, we got a lawnmower. We mow our lawns. We got the same mower we use. We took it up for service at the local shop. And I know the gal that works there, and Mitch took it up there on his own, and then we took it up, and then she came out and says, how you doing? She says, are you okay? And I said, yeah. And she's like, I know you're into crypto. I mean, are you really okay? I mean, did you get hurt by all this? And I'm like, no, I mean, it really didn't affect me, because I've got crypto in my own possession. I don't put it into the exchange, and the people who put it into the exchange, they got screwed. And I said, it's just like putting money into the bank. You know, you put your money into the bank. If the bank goes under, you hope there's insurance that can make you whole, but you never know. It might not be there. And it's just that you talk to people. And I mean, there have been people who just get it and come to me, and I'm like, I'm so surprised. It's like, hey, I want to get some Litecoin. How do I get it? And I'm like, okay, never expected you to want to get Litecoin or crypto. And then there's other people, you try to convince them and you say, hey, listen, this is happening. That's happening. You got all this money in retirement. I mean, you probably ought to look at something, and they don't do anything about it. And it's just what I've found is that, like you said, Javi, it's next. I mean, don't give your energy to the people that don't want to receive it. And you just, because there are a lot of people who want to receive it, and you got to focus on them.
Yeah,
you got to focus on them.
I'm telling you, I have people that like will come back to you, and whether it's about crypto or silver or truth, that 3-4 years later walk back in, and they're like, holy crap, did you realize? And you're like, that's why you stopped talking to me. But okay.
Yeah, it takes some of us take 5 or 6 days to go bing, and I go, oh
it
my
took
God,
me 4 years. It took me 4 years on my own.
Lisa just said.
Yeah, it's fine. But and we don't have to be right. You can be right or you can be happy. And so those
let
are not
go of the ego and quit thinking that you need to change the world. If you change one person, if you help one person, then you've changed the world.
And get this, they'll want to. You will know the person that doesn't leave you alone and that gets it will be there. Like ever since I went to your meetup over there at Westwood's, shoot, I got pictures of Westwood t-shirt. Dude, I'm all into the whole.
I know you're out wearing more Westwood stuff than I wear.
I'm like posting it because you know what, I truly. It's not the name, no offense, but it's just the energy that came from that particular time. The people that I met, and the people that are now meeting me. That, dude, I don't know. I have a computer, but I don't use it much. Lisa doesn't understand my iPhone.
I know you're the funniest crypto person.
I shouldn't be in it, but I accidentally fell in. But that's.
But we all, there are no coincidences though, Javi. I mean, there aren't. And I mean, you say, I haven't done the research, I don't know all this stuff, and I just fell into it. But you're meant to fall into it. And that's where there's a greater plan. And that's where you got to have a little bit of faith. And I tell Mitch all the time, I'm like, I use this analogy of like, well, there's the stream of life that you have, and you get in the canoe and you gotta let, we want so bad to get out of the damn canoe and get on that shoreline because that looks interesting. I want to get out and do that. I want to do that. And then it's like, no, stay in the canoe and life will take you where it needs to go. And you can't force fate. You can't force things to happen. People will come to the shore and say, hey, I got a question for you. They'll come to you. I mean, if you put out truth and you talk your truth and you know the truth inside of you and you just say it and you don't care, it'll happen. And I mean, again, 2013, I knew about crypto and I went to the first Litecoin Summit in 2018. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of life-changing. I met a lot of good people and I had never been on social media. And I had so many people saying, hey, you need to get out there and say something. You need to do something. You need to do this. You need to do that. Finally, I started making videos like 4 years ago on Twitter. And I talk about what I am and who I am. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. And you know what? People resonate with that. Not a lot of people because, I don't have a lot of followers, but it doesn't matter. It's those people who resonate with you. You're making a difference for them. And you're changing their lives. And you're activating them. And that's the key. If you change one person's path because they've looked at themselves, they heard something you say, and it sparks something in them, not that you're influencing them, but it sparks something in them that they look at things differently and they say, you know what? I need to kind of do something a little bit different in my life. You've inspired somebody. Here's a good example. I used to work with somebody in 1999 when I was a contractor at Caterpillar. And, I worked there about 3 years. And I knew a guy, and, he worked in the same group as I did. And there was some girl there, and he's like, oh, man, she's really good looking. I kind of want to ask her out. He's shy, and, and I said, well, ask her out. Just go up, just say something to her. And he did. And now they're married, and they have kids. And I went to their wedding, and he said, you know what? I never would have met her if you had not said something to me and inspired me to ask her out. And I'm just like, holy crap. I had no idea that I changed the path of that man's life by something I said that inspired him to just be who he was and just unlock his spirit and do something, anything. And now his kids might be the next president. You never know. And it's just, you don't know how you affect people by what you do on a small basis. You just be who you are, tell your truth that's true to you, and just talk it. And you know what? Who cares? Who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares if Kevin O'Leary thinks I know what I'm doing in crypto? I don't care. Who cares what other people think? Yeah. And it's just like, it's part of a greater plan.
Power.
Well, I need another hug from Charlie, so I'm going to leave you all to do your thing. And
I know, I can smell dinner, so we've got to wrap it up here.
Incredible.
All right.
I thank both of y'all for the energy, and I don't have to go and listen to, I don't watch TV, so I kind of go to Lisa for all the politics, whatever's going on. I go and Clint, I do need to tell you something. I think there's some therapy for that anger issue you've been having lately.
It was just today's video.
Thank you for all your energy, and thank you for the knowledge that you're sharing, because me and you are on the same boat.
But
hey man, I'm willing to take the slings and arrows, because I tell it like I feel.
Kudos to both of them. I love y'all both, and I'm gonna go over and get another hug, and
he's gonna get a hug,
maybe a bite out of whatever he's cooking,
dinner.
But it's delicious.
Yeah. Okay,
Lisa,
right, I'll see you in a minute for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's awesome.
Thank you, Javi. So there is a place for righteous anger, and there is a time for it, and I think that, like Bix has taught us on the face of the $100 Federal Reserve note, maybe they've written their own demise. We'll see. But I think that if my brothers and sisters in America are ready to stand up, I will stand beside them.
Absolutely. I'm willing to fight the good fight. I'm not willing to be told to fight that fight, though. And I think all of us need to come to that realization.
An individual's decision.
Right. We come together as a community, as a decentralized force of humanity, come together without control, without orders, without, the Nuremberg bullshit. Exactly. And we just put out the truth.
We just say no.
And that's it. All you got to do to stop a vampire is not give him energy.
Yes.
Just don't give him your power.
Choose another way. Choose another path. We don't have to do this in any kind of with any kind of malice or anger, but we can do this in peace and just choose another path. Bitcoin was created to be that other path of peace. Oh gosh, I hope I have that video. Do I have that video of Satoshi? Oh, I don't have it. My friends at Dragon Chain have a great video that talks about the Satoshi white paper. You guys go read the Satoshi white paper.
Read it. I got it linked off my website because I think it's important. Just go read it.
Westwood.net.
And read the paper.
And the paper is not long.
No. Stay out of the math and all that stuff. Just read the concept and gain the spirit of it and understand what it's telling you. And you resonate with it or you don't.
Of peace out of this way of enslavement.
Just don't give it energy. You just walk away and say, I'm unplugging. I'm not going to feed you anymore, vampire. I'm out.
No more rules of typewriter rules, as Johnny says so. Yep. All right. Love you guys. We will see you later, and I'm going to go have dinner. And I've apparently hugged my husband. I don't know. Take care, guys.